Alright, everyone, welcome back to another day in the painting realms. I got an exciting new black coach. Oh, the top's separated, so I didn't break, but we got a new black coach. And I'm gonna paint
Here.
that up to go with my night haunt
Very exciting with
and
the
our
Night
night
Hunt
haunt
book
review.
hopefully coming out soon.
Yeah, anywhere from soon to a couple months.
Yeah, who knows?
Also, I got this cool paint tray over here, so I don't have a mess
Paint.
of a desk anymore.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, right? Isn't that
That's
sweet?
fancy. Actually, that looks very similar to mine, except for that mine has lost all the paints to over here.
Oh, because you didn't put them back?
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, the paint trays aren't great if you don't put the paints back.
Yeah, correct.
You silly goose. But yeah, and then you're finishing up some Chaos Knights for me. Or for yourself, rather.
Finishing up
For
might be a
us.
strong word, but
Yeah.
yeah, rough idea.
Putting progress into.
Yeah, yeah.
There's my Knight. Gloom. Yep. So that's exciting. And we got
Yeah, we'll
Arena of
get this
Shade,
bad boy
which,
done eventually.
yeah.
I'm excited to talk about that.
Me too, because I had very strong opinions one way that weren't
Hmm.
positive. And then the more I thought about it, they became positive
Oh, okay,
with a
that's good.
caveat of,
All right.
yeah,
they need that one thing,
yeah.
right? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Or like something like
Yeah.
brutal.
Right.
Like I think if they get support, like these are going to be way better than they look on the surface.
Yeah.
Except for one model or one unit, I should say. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, any games you get? Did you get any games recently?
No, I wasn't able to get into any games recently,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I
Soon.
understand. Yeah.
2 weeks. I think. Soonish, I guess.
Very cool.
Yep. How about you?
Yeah, I got a couple games in. With actually, I got three in since we last spoke.
Oh, cool.
And two of them were a really cool opportunity. So actually, I've been talking with Tyler of Warcoda,
Yes, that's
and
right. You were mentioning. Yeah.
yeah, and like he gave me some insight on how he wanted to change some of the missions, and then I played them up
Cool.
and saw what I thought, and we'll talk about those games for a little bit because I think they're interesting.
Yeah.
And then I had an interesting find about the current state of affairs that I want to talk about a little too. But yeah, to cut the
Sounds like we
short,
got an action-packed show today.
yeah, we do. But yeah, because I remember when we did our like Deepkin review, we were like a little worried at the state of the meta in the game and how it
Hmm.
was gonna be. So we thought that book
Yeah.
was insane.
Yeah.
And I still think it is, but yeah, I was playing an OBR list that it was a reaction to because we always make the joke of like, oh, the relentless point discipline points are meaningless.
Hmm.
Like why? So I cut the Liege Cavalos, which was like an auto include for the longest time in that army.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, oh, I don't need the points anymore. I wonder if like I could just not use one and still have more points than I need. Spoiler alert, yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, I still can't shoot through them all.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So like he is actually 170 points for like that plus one attack CP or command ability
Yep.
that you can't use because you're putting your shield wall up on your Mortek guard.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right?
So he's just like a complete like
Yeah.
170 point trap of a unit.
Yep. So he's out.
Wow.
He's gone.
Yep.
So I have Ark of the Black, two Bone Shapers. One with the Arcane Tome, but I don't think I'm going to keep that for long.
Hmm.
Um, I have a unit of 30, a unit of 20, and two unit of 10 Mortek guards. And then I
So
haven't
many.
decided whether like a big unit of Morghast Harbingers or two units of Necropolis Stalkers better.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the list I'm kind of working with of late.
Nice. But
Yeah,
it's working out a lot better.
yeah, because just like especially when you have like the block of 30 and they don't kill it. Like Archon and the two Bone Shapers return 9 models to it.
Oh, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to kill it too.
Yep.
So that's just an infinite handle.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like I don't think OBR are in that bad of a spot in the meta right now, and it's just because of Mortet Guard being too good.
Oh, there you go. So that's like the required unit for them.
Yeah, right. Because
Yeah.
like we remember how nightmares they were in second edition, and like yeah, they're not nearly as good as they were in second, but like the fact that like it's 140 points for 10 fort save, ignoring rend one, re-rolling.
That's
And
pretty
you,
fucking hard to deal with.
yeah, and you put them in a hunter so you can't get roared.
Yep.
And it's just like, what do you do about that other
Uh,
than like a
Ignore it,
fuck
I
ton of
guess.
mortal wounds? Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
ignore it.
Well, even fuck ton of mortal wounds doesn't really work because like I can't even imagine doing like more than 9 mortal wounds in a turn, and
Yeah,
then they just will come back, right?
yeah, I guess so.
So really, I guess the way what you got to do is like more the Bone Shaper and Archon down instead,
Yeah.
if you can.
Or like, I'm sure fulminators could do it.
I'm sure there are things that can, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like a DPS check, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna lose to the armies that like can do the DPS check,
Yeah.
and it's probably very good against the armies who can't.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. The first game was with Deepkin. Actually, yeah, actually both of those games were with Deepkin. It was a similar list. Trying out a couple things.
Mhm.
We came to the conclusion we think that the Shiver is a trap. And I think we said that in a review show too. But like
Yeah,
the
it
main
felt
battle
like it.
line is like good enough. Because
Yeah.
like what you can do is you can take the Soul Scryer and you can deep strike the king and then the unit of 3 sharks.
Hmm.
And that's just awesome. It's
Oh,
so
when you
much
make
easier.
so instead of making them the shiver, you just use a unit of 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see
because
why
then
you
you
don't
get the
use it.
alpha also, and then
Yeah,
you, yeah, yeah.
exactly. And that's just like 600 points of like raw power off the table.
Yep.
But yeah, I ended up winning both of those games because I don't think Deepkin can do much about, cause like except for the Achelian King, all their stuff is like Rend one, and
Oh,
then
so
like
if
I
you're
get the
ignoring Rend
circle.
1,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a problem. So they're
yeah,
like the answer to Deepkin almost, being able to
weirdly,
ignore
yeah.
Rend 1. Yeah.
Like the only scary thing in that army for me is the Achelian King with his a billion attacks with the -3 Rend.
Yeah. Was it as many attacks as we were thinking it was on paper?
Um, no, but the reason is because like I deliberately went out of my way as much as possible to not let that be a thing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So like I had to like put substantial effort into stopping it, I would have to say.
Right, right.
But like you can't.
Okay, that's
But
interesting.
yeah. And it's like it's a lot easier to do when you have like a block of 30. Like you could just take up so much space.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so like and then the when that happens is like the Achelian King will get to charge almost whatever unit he wants. Except for like the stuff that you really protect, and then he will certainly take them out, right?
Right.
And then you just have Archon go, and you cast Arcane Bolt 3 times and stomp, and that will get him. And then your terrain piece does a mortal wound to him.
Oh yeah, how about that?
Yeah,
That's enough, right?
yeah. So I think you need to roll above a 1 on 2 of the dice, or 3 up on 1 of the dice, and you kill him, which isn't a big ask.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so that's sweet.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way of dealing with it because that is his problem. I think he does have very few wounds. So, and
Yeah,
I
he
don't think
has.
he has no ward, right?
No, unless he's like
Yeah,
next to that terrain feature, which he won't be.
right, because he's fucking diving in.
Yep.
Yep. Ah, very interesting.
Right? Yeah, it's like yeah, like the only thing that deals with him is spells, and it's so satisfying to kill a Deepkin unit charging into it on turn 3.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, but yeah, the changes that were made were we tried Battle for the Past. That one's fresh in my mind because that was the more recent one,
Hmm.
and so the territories are just half the table now instead of like the fourth. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and then your 24 inches apart instead of 30 inches apart. Because the problem is that fast armies just like play circles around slow armies in this.
Hmm.
So like the idea is like trying to make that easier for like faster or slower armies to recover from it.
Yep.
Another problem too is the how the mission used to be is the secondaries were like the two no man land ones, and it put like so much power in the turn 3 roll of just like if you got rid of one of the no man land ones, if you had the power to get rid of that, you had to you're forcing the opponent to put so much effort and initiative into taking the other one away.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
then you just have the option of like, well, they took that one at the expense of the other one, so I'll just kill it
yeah,
and then take that one back and take the one they left.
exactly. So everything's a primary now, or like
Okay,
that's
that's
the idea. Yeah,
yep.
and I agree with that.
I think so.
And then the last one, and this is the one that me and Tyler are both a little iffy on, is making it worth the opponent's worth 3 instead of 4.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because like especially with like making the deployments closer for the enemy. Or yeah, so yeah, making the deployments closer makes it easier for the or the slower armies to
Hmm.
get up on the points, but it also makes it a lot easier for the faster armies to just take it from you.
Right.
And like 3 is still like an incentive to do so, but it's not like
It's
I'm
not as
yeah.
good.
There's
It's
been
still
times
just
where like the 4 points were taken from me, and I'm like, oh, I can't win this game now.
right.
Like I'm not fast enough to go back and grab it.
Now, is it still just if you control one of the middle points, you get 2 points?
Yes,
Okay.
I think the read is
What do you
the.
think about that?
I think that's like the right way to go,
Okay.
because the more I play it is because what made me not like it initially was I thought that you would just ignore the other point entirely.
But you don't.
I don't think you do because I think you're still incentivized to take it to stop
Hmm.
your opponent from scoring.
Oh, okay. So it's more like a instead of having to take it every turn, you're like, if you can take it once, you gain an advantage type of thing.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah,
And not let them retake it. So it's like kind of hard to do.
yeah. And
But
also, like, if
that's
you
like how you
ignore it,
can win.
yeah. Oh, sorry. What was that?
Oh, I was saying, but that's like how you can win if you could pull off that, which is kind of difficult to pull off. It gives your opponent plenty of time for counterplay.
Yeah, and also, if, like, you completely ignore it, it lets them build up like a castle, and then the next turn they just move their castle onto your point.
Oh yeah,
So you still
that's a good
kind of
point.
have to deal with it. Yeah,
Mhm.
which is something that we kind of missed in our little assessment.
Yeah, yeah,
I think I'm happy either way with that mission, but I think it's healthier because it stops like the points from exploding a little more.
right.
But yeah, I'm not hyper invested either way in that one.
Mhm. Yeah, that one's already been like a pretty good mission, so it's like fine tuning kind of thing.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm excited to see how those things go. Those
yeah.
changes. I think there's potential to be great changes there. And yeah, I like that mission a lot. I still like Game of Heroes, and I think that's everyone's favorite.
Oh, which one's that one again? Oh, the yeah, the one where you incentivize melee heroes taking points.
Yeah,
Yep,
and then like your deployments are the corners.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Do people like the corner deployments a lot, or is that just like a thing that you just do and you don't really think about?
I think that's a thing you just do and you don't think about.
Hmm. Okay.
But like I don't dislike them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I feel like in second edition it would have really sucked. But like the amount of bodies you bring, I think they're healthy and good in third edition.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then forcing the hand was the other one that wanted to be changed.
Hmm.
And it's funny how like this whole situation started because I was playing with my buddy Eric, and then we realized that in like our game and then your game with Trevor and his ogres, nobody ever got the vital grounds.
Right, right. Yep.
And I'm like, all right, is this like us? Are we dumb and missing something, or is that the general read?
Is
He's
it?
like,
Yeah. Is that just generally how it goes?
yeah. He's like, yeah. You hit it right on the head. It's not impactful. So how we want to change it is at the beginning of the game after deployment before first turn is decided. You
Mhm.
pick the vital grounds then, and it's that for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I only got the vital ground once. I never got points off of it one time. But I think it's a good change because it really cascades through the rest of the game how you play.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely changes everything a lot, I imagine.
As opposed to like, okay, what's the one you can't get? All right, that one. And then you move on with your life, you know?
Yeah. I
Overall,
mean,
I think.
in mine Trevor's game, it was like I think Trevor did take it, but he was just rolling all over me, so it wasn't impactful still.
You're right.
Right.
It was a game you were already losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're already losing, it doesn't really matter
Mm-hmm.
because there was no way I was getting his. I think we even forgot to even mention which one it was for him because it didn't matter that
Because you
much.
had all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was just yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there was no way I was taking those.
Yeah. But yeah, I played that one with Castelli Dynasty with
Okay.
36 cavalry.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I had 20 blood knight or 37. So I
Oh,
had
I think I remember seeing the picture of that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and yeah, my vampires have yet to beat ogres. It feels like
Really?
yeah,
Just
it's
is it
just
just some weird counter that just feels difficult to explain why?
yeah. I looked on Honest Wargamer Stat Center for like tournament results,
Mhm.
and yeah, vampires do have a negative win rate against ogres, but it's
Weird.
only like 42%, so it shouldn't like be that bad.
Yeah,
But
but
like
there is an advantage there
yeah,
because they don't have a better win rate than not OBR,
Soul Blight.
Soulblight. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
they
Because I think
don't. Not
Soulblight's
at all.
actually really good. Yeah,
Yeah, Soul Blight's pretty good.
that's very interesting though.
Yeah, and
Maybe what it is you just happen to be they just happen to be playing the like the armies that are good against you. Do you have any
yeah.
ideas of like what you think it might be that why it's a bad matchup?
Well, what happened in this game, and it seems to happen every game, is like because I had a we actually had like he had 2 units of 20 Noblars, and I had like the Black Knights as a screen unit,
Mhm.
and then he won the priority roll. And he's like, actually, you go. Like I don't want to charge your screens.
Right.
So I had Prince for Dry charge up the side, and then take out a battle line unit to score the points. And then on his turn, his ogres are always faster than I think.
Oh
And so he
yeah.
had his iron guts come up the side from the middle to the side, and then just perfectly nail a 9-inch charge, and then wipe them off the face of the earth.
Oh yep.
And you're like,
It's just
ah,
always something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
that happens. Yep.
yeah. I had like really tough rolling that game, and then it was a super close game. And it's just like, man, I probably would have won if he didn't make a 9-inch charge.
Yep.
And like, I can't act like that because I still put him in harm's way, you know,
Yeah.
without
But like
remembering
you
that.
didn't really
Yeah,
think you did, right?
yeah. I went out of my way to like put him on the edge of the table,
Yep.
and then like the ogres are just faster than you ever think they are ever.
Right.
It's those kind of losses are frustrating too.
Right.
When
Yeah.
it's like I played badly and I counted on something that I shouldn't have,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Very understandable though.
It's just like his iron guts are like a unit that does 3 damage per hit, and like you can
Oh yeah. God,
reroll wounds, and
yep.
like they're just laser guided to take out my zombie dragons every game we play.
Oh my god.
Like no matter what, like they'll make the charge and they'll just kill it. It's like, yeah, I don't.
Like I don't know what to do about that.
Yep,
Yep.
it's frustrating, but I get it.
I mean that's probably why they have such a good win rate against him.
Yeah.
It's just like picture perfect at taking out your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they don't like fill up the zombie ranks ever. That might be part of it too.
Oh, because they have so many wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not like that astronomically big of a win rate thing.
Mhm.
Because if it was
Well,
like
42
30,
is pretty. 42 is pretty significant. Like if you looked and you saw
yeah,
like 39 win percent, like you'd be like, "Ooh, that's really rough."
yeah,
And 42 isn't that far off.
yeah, I guess too. Yeah, because I was just about to say, because like if I saw like 37, I'd be like, okay, that's just an uphill battle, like
Right.
beginning to end. Yeah, but yeah, that's only 2 points off from your exam. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get there one day.
Because even the lowest win rates for like the worst armies are still like 35%, right?
Yeah, exactly. Except for there's probably like some very like yeah, like Moonspite are probably like 20% against Stormcast or Gargants, right?
Right.
Stuff like that.
That's probably true.
Hmm.
So it's not like the most abysmal matchup in the world. It's just like odd. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah, it proves to be difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my second OBR versus Deepkin game, I lost every single priority roll, and I know you know how that feels.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do I ever?
Hmm.
I've been starting to win a few recently. It's been nice.
Yeah.
Like I won that priority roll in my last game with Beasts and proceeded to win the game on the spot. So that was cool.
Hmm. Oh, I guess they had a 5-0 recently too.
Oh, did they? Nice.
I didn't catch the lists, unfortunately. I should have asked. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think that first time we played with Beasts was just a bit of a maybe just a bit of a fluke. Like I just kind of had a bad list. I was running some bad units. Like I was wasting points on a Cygor.
it's a combination of definitely that.
Yeah.
Definitely you were on a time crunch, so you did a very bad play for the interest of time.
Yeah, exactly. Like
And
I
you
charged right in
yeah.
when you were just gonna crush me. Yeah.
Yeah, you charged my screen basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think I got a good priority there. And I'm sure that like Flesh Eater Courts is probably still a fair matchup against
Right.
Beast because yeah, you're rending through them anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It is
That was
pretty
fun.
crazy that it did make a big difference. Like every time I was like saying what my rend was, he was like, "Really?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, yeah, it's whole fucking table.
Hmm.
It's everybody." He didn't have any monsters that game, so I was like, "Do you have any monsters or anything that can destroy scenery?" He's like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Oh boy."
Hmm. Yeah, I bet Severeth is really good against Beast for that reason too.
Oh, probably.
Because you could just fly to the back and then you just sacrifice him to get your armor back.
Yeah, pretty much.
SPL, what are you doing, buddy? How's it going, man?
Hey,
Thank you for the 11 months. Yeah.
it's crazy
Yeah,
how
Bill
long
and I
we've been
just
going.
realized right before we got on that I think we hit a year today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was either today or last week or whatever, but this is
Hmm.
basically the 1 year stream
Yeah.
from you being partnered.
Yeah. Man, I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
It
right.
doesn't feel that at all.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. But I'm glad to be spending a year hanging out with my friend Bill, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Bill's like, yeah, I am fun to hang out with.
Yeah, that is what I said.
Yeah.
Thanks for repeating it back to me.
Funny as hell. Yeah.
Yep, that's me.
Hmm. I'm Bill. Yeah. Are you getting the Realmscape box, you think, or just the book?
I think I'm gonna get the Realm skate box. I love terrain.
I
I'm
got
I'm
it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get it.
That was like a hard ask for me because I had like half of it, but God, the half that I don't have is so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, the waterfall
The
and
Crown
the
Spire, yeah.
yeah. Like I just wanted more of the waterfall. Like I have the Lumineth shrine. It's just like I just want more. Like just
Yeah.
like give me more of those waterfalls because those are awesome.
The thing too is I got the waterfall, and I didn't know if I wanted to make it because actually that like waterfall terrain piece is a thing in the lore. that I kind of
Oh, that's
wanted to
cool.
replicate for my uh Stormcast idea, like because you know how I have like the desert terrain to go with the Stormcast
Yeah.
army. Yeah,
Yep.
because like what that is in the cities, the Dawnbringer Crusades when they go out to explore and conquer new land,
Hmm.
they just bring this rock with them that's just perpetual water.
Oh,
And
that
then when
checks
they
out.
decide they want the city to be, they just like nail it into the earth and then make a water source there.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's what that rock is, and I'm like, oh, I could turn the Shrine Luminor into that. And I didn't know if I wanted to do that or like the blood scenery with like the throne chair on top.
Hmm.
And then like that terrain piece became a real thing. I'm like, oh well, there's my answer.
Yep, there's your answer.
Yep. Yeah, water's super important to budding societies.
Yep.
So yeah, it's gonna be a cool box set. 220, I think, for the whole thing, which is kind of insane if you think about it, because like they sell the
Yeah.
walls and the statues separately for like $60 a piece. So it's like
Oh,
way
that's
cheaper
interesting.
to get it that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's like a box set that's like two of the walls and two of the statues for 100 together. And you're like, really? I don't understand
Yeah.
this. Yeah. All right though. So yeah, I'll have a nice themed Dawnbringer Crusade and Thondia board. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm planning on doing it like my I have a bunch of like desert themed terrain. So I'm probably gonna do it all like that.
Yeah, me too actually. Yeah.
I just like desert themed terrain. I don't know what it is. It's nice and easy to paint, looks really good.
Oh yeah.
I think my splash to it is that, and I started doing it a bit with the catacombs terrain actually,
Hmm.
where I did it desert, but then I did like it a little more corn based. Go figure, I'm doing corn stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm thinking of like maybe doing the water as like a blood color, so it has like a little bit of a different look to it.
Hmm.
So doing like the like a red waterfall or whatever off of the side,
You know, what might be cool
all
too.
corrupted and shit.
Is like if it's
What's that?
actually just water, and then at the base, you just make it so like things like are getting washed with blood, or there's just like so much killing in the area that the rivers are filling up with blood.
That could be cool too.
Yeah, there's so many ways you can go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many disturbing, corn morbid ways.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Hmm. Yeah, and that could be a cool like daughter's thing too, if you ever need it.
Oh, it really could. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for things to be bloody in the mortal realms.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of things like blood.
Yeah, I figured that would look cool. Like if I do the thing with um that invocation thing. I can't remember the name of it now.
The
Uh,
Kronspire,
no, the unit. I don't think that's called the Crossfire. Is it?
the monster that comes in that box set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it?
Kronspire. Our
Oh, that's a weird
incarnation
name.
of Gur.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
then yes, that.
Hmm.
um. Yeah, if I do that as like as if it's Varanite instead of like the Amber,
Oh
then it
yeah.
would kind of like all match and everything too, which would be kind
Hmm.
of cool. Which maybe they'll come out with an 8 points one of incarnation eventually. And you know what? They'll just all be Varanite. It'll be okay. They're all corrupted.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I get it, because I kind of want to do like one that matches my death stuff because I have such like a coherent death theme.
Oh
I
right.
think it would
Yeah,
look
yeah.
so good with it. But like the fact that it's like the Amber Beast makes me feel terrible to not paint it amber. But I don't think anyone is.
You know what? I don't think anyone should feel bad about that.
Yeah,
I'm just out there.
I get it. But like I think the amber skin looks really good with it too, though. So
Oh, it does. Oh no,
yeah.
for sure it does.
Oh, I don't know.
But it's just like, but I don't want to do mine that way.
Yeah, I get it. I might like make the heart amber and then like all the magic coming out of it, like blue shiny sheen stuff for me
It
too.
could be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I'll play around with it. Get playful with that. And then we're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
have a
probably.
cool stream day one day soon where we're both painting it.
I know, right? That's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or we could just make that happen,
Yeah,
I
I think we
guess.
should even.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree. I figure next week we'll probably talk about the rules because we'll probably have them at that point, and then
Yeah, we got a teaser article today, and then I looked at it and I was like, Bill, I don't know if we have anything to go off with here.
they don't tell you like they're like, ooh, look at the how many attacks this thing has, but then they don't like explain anything about how it works in reality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the only thing we know is that it has like I think the rumors say it's 400 points, and it probably is because everything else and the rumor was correct.
yeah,
So let's just like put it at like 400 points. It had a decent amount of attacks for
it did. It
400.
seemed
Yeah,
to. Yeah, yeah, and the damage was pretty good. I think.
yeah. Like it
I
starts
think
at
one of the
11
attacks
and
is
it could be
4
400.
damage, right, or something crazy
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
and it had like 8 attacks at 2 damage with like 2 rend, and then 3 attacks with 3 rend at 4 damage,
right.
something like that. Yeah, it was rather decent. But then like I just don't know how you interact with it or use it or
Yeah,
anything.
like it seems like it can charge based on the rest of it, and maybe it just fights normal. But like I don't know how it takes damage. It gets weaker or what.
Yeah.
Yeah. My guess is gonna be like if it kills stuff, it like gains power, and if it as it gets hurt, it loses power, and it's kind of like if it can do more damage than it receives, then it's getting better or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe not like exactly that. Maybe like if it would have to do like 2 times more damage than it receives to like gain power or something like that.
Hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see.
I just feel like it's gonna be super overcomplicated, and I wish it was just like a Mega Gargant esque ally.
You know, yeah, probably.
That's how I feel about it.
It already seems a little overly complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that model. And if it's
Oh, it's
like
very cool.
1% too good, it's gonna be everywhere, I think.
Everywhere.
Yep.
I wish they could like figure out how to give things like a niche thing like spot in the game as opposed to just like it's like all or nothing because it feels like most things are just like all or nothing.
I feel like they're getting closer every time.
They might be. Yeah.
Because I remember like when Endless Spells came out, we were just like, wow, these are worthless.
Yeah.
And then they redid them, and then we had to play with them before we realized they were worthless. You remember?
Yes.
Like we did a tier list, and we're like, oh, like the Flaming Skull is awesome because it's so cheap.
Yep.
And then like we play the game,
Like
we're like, oh, yeah, I'd rather have a reroll charge once per game than this.
yep.
You know?
Yep.
Like I'd rather get the triumph.
Yep.
So like this doesn't do anything, and that might be the problem with them is that triumphs exist and they're worth
Well, I
fishing
think I
for.
think the other problem is it's like you could cast that, but do you have a different spell you want to cast more?
Yes, Mystic
Yeah.
Shield at least.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like
Hmm.
I would definitely want to cast a Mystic Shield
And I would
more
say
than
that
that.
like I think the triumphs are a better system in the game than endless spells. Anyway,
I'll be honest, triumphs are definitely a thing I forget about a lot, so
yeah, I used to, and like when we played together a lot, I definitely did a lot. But
yeah.
what changed for me, and you never had to deal with this, is playing an army that can't reroll charges ever,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
then that's the only way to get it, and you remember it pretty damn quickly.
Yeah, I bet
When
you
it's
do.
like, oh, you're 2 inches away, and I lose this game if I don't make this charge. Oh, I have a triumph.
Apparently your mic seems pretty quiet.
Oh, does it?
Apparently.
Oh, wow. Hmm.
I'm hearing you okay, but that might be a different setting.
Yeah, my sound's pretty loud here. Yeah. Oh, man. God, I hate that.
I know.
Because I
And
didn't.
it's so hard to hear yourself back, right?
Yeah, I didn't change a goddamn setting.
Mm. I
Yeah, I
guess
don't know.
you could open up the stream, say something, and then listen to yourself back about 5 seconds later.
Yeah, but then it's gonna be caught on the stream.
Oh, would it be?
Yeah, because
Oh.
it's just feeding the sound from my computer into the stream right now.
Oh, don't do that. That sounds really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, and I'm trying to see if there's like an easy microphone setting. I pulled it a little closer to my face, so I hope that did something.
Yeah, don't create a sound paradox. Yes. Please don't. Those
Yeah.
are bad. Yeah.
All right.
Then everyone's ears break when it starts squealing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I did not create a sound paradox. I went to the Windows setting and I turned the mic up. I hope that does something. Otherwise, I could just enunciate better, I suppose.
Talk better, Alex.
Yeah, talk better. Damn. Oh, it's fine. Well, I think it's that time where we
Let's
start.
do it.
We're a little
Hell yeah.
late, but yeah, I want to talk about the Arena of Shade stuff. And, like, I think. Okay, perfect. I fixed something. Good.
Okay.
Thank you, Windalis. Kalon Windalis. Sounds like a D&D name, right?
That does.
Yeah. But, yeah, so when I was first reading the new War Scrolls for the Night Hunt stuff, a lot of it seemed very the same or just a debuff at first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was like extremely upsetting. And then like some of the new units are very lackluster.
Yep.
And then as they are written right now, and then so it was very dour. But like the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm convinced is that like I think half the units in this army have an ability called Frightful Touch, which is on sixes to hit, they deal mortal wounds equal to their damage characteristic of their weapon, and the attack sequence ends.
Right.
I think that's just going to be army wide. And I think we talked about this on the show a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just convinced that's going to be army wide. So I'm going to
Did
give.
any units in the box have it and lost it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did it? But none of them had it to start with.
None of them had it to start with.
Okay.
Yeah. So that makes it a little trickier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna choose to be hopeful about this. And if they don't have that, they have something else in the Allegiance abilities to help out with damage.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I imagine that the on the tended charge, they get the extra combat that rule. The I forget what that one's called, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely know what you're talking about. This
Yeah.
shit's scary.
I wonder how that's gonna change, or if it's
Hmm.
gonna stay exactly the same. Because it is a wildly inconsistent ability.
They don't seem to mind wildly inconsistent though.
No. But I'm just saying
Honestly, it
that's
feels like
possible to
a.
change too.
It seems like a thing that might change, or that might stay the same.
I'm 50-50 on that, to be
Hmm.
honest. And, like, I could see it staying and I could see it changing, and I don't super care either way, depending on how the whole book shapes up.
Right. Right.
But yeah.
What if instead you got when you charge, you get to fight
Yeah, I was thinking it might be
every
that.
time,
Yeah.
just all the time?
I was thinking that might be the way they change it, but I don't think we get Frightful Touch in that sense.
I don't think so either. That would be
Yeah.
quite insane.
Yeah. Or maybe, like, the first unit you charges or a unit you charges gets it. I'd be much more okay with that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be actually a really cool change
That would
to
be
it.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because you pick the combat that matters and then you get extra of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of stuff that could do the Allegiance abilities. But yeah, without further ado, let's talk about the War Scrolls themselves. This is the Scriptor Mortis, and I put down there the points. So, 6 up, or 6 wounds with the 4 up save, which is great. For like a little shitty hero.
Yeah.
Ethereal didn't change here. So, it's likely that it's gonna. I think it's about a 70% chance it's gonna stay that for the book. With my 30% reservation being, I think it would be terrible if we had to like wait for the book to come, and then it didn't change for most of the units, and like a handful of them had new ethereal rules.
That would be really weird.
Yeah, so like I don't think it's off the table that it could change.
I think it's unlikely though.
I think it's unlikely, yeah, but I
Yeah.
think it's possible. But I don't think this is proof that it isn't.
Fair
That's all
enough.
I'm saying, yeah. But I just wanted to talk about that too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So ethereal. I hope they get another command ability that like is all out defense that works with ethereal. Maybe not as good, but like something. Because it's frustrating to not have that.
Well, the funny thing is, the thing that would probably work the best is like a reroll of ones or reroll ones, but they're like trying to get rid of that,
Yeah.
get that out of the game. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what they do.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stuff they could do with this book.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see it. But yeah, let's continue on. So then we have the ability that we talked about in stream a while ago when they revealed it. Where you pick an enemy unit, you put it in the death note, and then the next turn, if you roll under the turn, so like on turn 2, if you roll a 1, you deal 2d6 mortal wounds. And so, and we were both pretty lukewarm on this ability, saying along the lines of, man, it needs to do something else, or else this is. You're paying points for likely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, like, even if you're trying to snipe off a support hero, you're not doing it in time with this.
Right.
Unless you're rolling extremely well.
Right.
Or, like, if it's a wizard, also, this is a great rule. It's
Yeah.
not a wizard, also. It's not a
It's
totem, even.
it's a really nice shelf piece.
Yep. And
That's
it's got one more rule, though. This might be the cool support piece we need. Ready?
Yep.
Witchlight candles. Once per phase, you can allocate one wound or mortal wound that would be allocated um to this unit to a friendly night haunt summonable unit within 6 inches instead.
Great. So it's better at surviving itself.
Yeah.
Oops.
Um.
Oops. Bad war scroll.
Yeah. And like any other war scroll, like any other hero with that ability, I'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like that, but this thing doesn't do anything, and also it's 150 points.
Yeah.
150.
Like I don't know what they were thinking with this one.
Yeah, because I think we even said too. It's like if it does nothing else, it's like probably 90, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay.
150.
Yeah.
I mean, its attacks are not good.
No.
Not good enough, right?
Yeah.
Like
Even with frightful
like an
touch.
average Stormcast hero for the same cost with maybe a better ability and better armor is like 4 attacks, 3 up, -1/2. That's like baseline.
Oh, and even the priest that is so fucking good.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what I'm talking
yeah, the
about.
Lord Relictor.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
one more attack with the same rend and damage, and hits better.
yeah,
And is a
yep,
priest with like one of the best priest lores in the game,
right,
and like one of the best priest rules. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Relictor. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's gonna look great on my shelf. That's all I can say about this model. It looks so
Oh,
good.
oh, it's amazing. Oh,
Yeah,
that's an amazing model, and it's
such a
just very sad.
waste. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fortunately, this is the only model that I'm gonna have no redeeming qualities about in this review.
I think there's another that has few redeeming qualities, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. And I think it's next anyway. Is it this one? The Craven
Give me a
Throne
few
Guard?
seconds. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
So, this is what I'm talking about, where I want to do 2 reviews for these units. One
yeah,
with the assumption of Frightful Touch, and one with the assumption without.
correct.
So we'll do the
Yep.
without one first, right? So it's
All right.
95 points for 5 of them, which isn't terrible.
Yeah, it's true.
Hits on 4. Yeah, 2 attacks, fours, -1/1. And
Absolute garbage.
yeah, the range is 12 inches, which is awful,
Awful.
but you get to deep strike them wherever you want. So like the range doesn't matter as much, but like it's still like a consideration. You have to be pretty deliberate with where you put these.
I
You
mean, the
can't.
problem
Yeah.
though with that comment is yes, you could deep strike them anywhere, But for 95 points, they're not going to do 95 points of damage, and they're probably going to die and just be like, yeah, maybe they'll soak attacks for a turn
Yeah.
before they die. But like the average damage on 5 of those is like very low.
I have that actually in the next slide, but we'll talk a little bit more about its abilities before we get to
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
The average damages. Yeah, it's just I think the ignoring line of sight and cover is a little bit more relevant than it seems. Because I think there's plenty of situations where you're like surrounding a terrain piece, and then you can put this on the other side, and then keep them like uncharged while you're actually playing the game with your other units, and then they're pretty hard to get to, even with that short range. I think
You
that
know,
situation's going to come up a lot more than you think.
see, that feels like the kind of thing that you might think it's like, oh, we can do this cool thing, and then like you can count on one hand how many times it actually happens. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think you might be overestimating how many times it's actually going to happen, and it's just like going to be very rare that it actually makes an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that that's the crux of it, right?
Yeah.
Because even at its like lower damage rate, if like it's impossible to, if it turns out to be very difficult to get to,
Mm-hmm.
then it makes sense that damage rate's low, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess
Sure.
that's something we're gonna have to see. Either
Yeah.
way, this is something that you bring if you have points left over. Not
Probably.
if
Yeah.
you don't build around this.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I can't take 110 points, but I can take 95.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll take this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you just like they're better than Glaber stalkers.
I don't know what they do offhand.
They're the dog ones, right? That are 65 points for 4 that are 1 wound each with the 4-up save, and then they have 2 attacks, 4-ups, no rend, 1 damage, and they can retreat and charge.
They're better than those.
Yep.
Well, these do have a 5-up save and not a 4-up save.
Yeah.
So, actually, I'm not confident.
And I hate that the champion special rules they get 1 more melee attack.
Why did they even fucking bother writing that?
Yeah.
Like, why did you
Mm-hmm.
print that on that war scroll? Like, that is useless.
Mm-hmm.
It frustrates me to no end when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's like, and now you're almost certainly not going to remember that rule because it just feels so irrelevant.
I'm gonna be
And like
honest.
the one time it would actually matter, you probably won't even roll it.
I don't even super care about the unit leader rules in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think a lot of it was like to make the unit leader feel special. But I think the only bonus it ever needed was what it got in 3rd edition of they can issue commands.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, like
That is
that's
special.
it's universal. Every like you only need to know 1 rule for every unit leader in the game, and it does way more than 1 extra piddly attack could ever do, even if it was like an extra ranged attack, right? Like they already solved that, right?
You know what's very interesting is I
What?
actually really like it, the extra attack on thralls,
Yeah.
because if you have only 1 left, but you're attacking some like a 1 wound unit, you
Mm-hmm.
still get 4 attacks with it, which
Yeah.
just feels like a lot for like what it is.
Or like 3 2-damage attacks on a
Yeah,
13-point model.
Yep, exactly. Which feels maybe feels more relevant than it really is, but
I think it's that, but still, like it's still fun,
yeah.
and that's why we play this game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then the last rule it has is it rallies on a 5 instead of a 6.
Oh, they didn't even need to print that shit. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, again, if like my theory proves right, and these are way harder to reach than you think,
Mm-hmm.
and the only way you can get at them is like shooting back at them, like that might actually be insanely relevant on an archery unit.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I know
Especially
we're
if
going
they
off
have
the
prideful
assumption
touch.
that's an if. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, though, on the War Scroll itself, Rightful Touch or no, these are still better than the Auric Hearthguard that we reviewed our last show.
That's saying something.
Yeah, because like those are 125 points instead of 95 for 5.
Yeah.
And they have 3 up to wound, and that's the only difference.
Don't they have 2 wounds though?
Yeah, they have 2 wounds.
That 2 wounds might be relevant because they're. Do they have better melee attacks or are they exactly the same?
They're similar. I don't know
Okay.
if they're exactly the same.
Yeah,
but
sure. But they're
yeah.
similar, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I think these are going to be a little better than they read. I get that feeling with this unit.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next slide I wanted to go over.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say they definitely don't read that good.
Yeah.
But
So
but
the
I hope
blue.
I really want to be wrong about that because those guys are so cool.
Yeah. And I think they're going to be battle line with one of the sub factions because they're the Craven Throne Guard. And I think Kudro's
That would
Valencians
make
thing is
sense.
going to make them battle line.
Yep.
So like a unit of 15 that if you can't reach them and then you can rally them with Frightful Touch, like these could be insane.
Be cool.
Yeah, so that's a lot of ifs there. I understand, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think those are out of the question.
Well, I hope that's the case.
Yeah, but like I did the damage here. So this is a unit of a 5 Craven Throne Guard. A unit in the blue, and the green is if they have Frightful Touch, and the orange is the Bloodstalkers, which are a very similar unit at 190 points. Of 1 model, 2 attacks each. 6 ups to hit our mortal wounds.
Okay.
Yeah, from the Daughters of Cain.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So most things are probably going to be in the 3 and 4 armor range, which you're averaging less than 1 damage on those units, which is horrible. You're getting up to 3 if they have mortal wounds on 6s, and then you're close to 5 with the Bloodstalkers on the 4 up.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the 3 up is like a little lower. And then if they have no save at all, or a 6 up save because you're ignoring it with the rend, you're doing a whopping 2 damage with this unit.
Woohoo!
Or 3 and some change if they have Frightful Touch, where the bow snakes are doing 5, it looks like, on that same unit.
Okay.
Here's where it gets interesting. Is I'm gonna reinforce the unit, which brings it to 190, which is the bow snake's cost.
Right.
And then the
so you
damage
actually
gets
double.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with Frightful Touch, that could do 7 for 190. Where the bow snakes do 5 for 190.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the damage is actually pretty similar without Frightful Touch, even still.
That's very interesting.
Right? And like,
Yeah.
I get, and like, if somebody's like a Daughters player, they're going to tell me, it was like, yeah, because you're double shooting with Marathi, though, and that's the real problem with the bow snakes. And like, yes, you're getting a unit of 15 and they're double shooting. But I'm just talking about like the War Scroll by itself. It's very similar. And it's still like a good War Scroll by itself, right?
So you really need. So the difference here, though, obviously, is the 12-inch range, right?
Yeah. Verse 24.
And so, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So like you kind of need it to be you kind of need it to be the green one to be like, oh yeah, this is actually kind of cool, and like I'll run this.
Yeah. And I think,
But if that's what you get, that's pretty sweet.
And if you think about it too, like you are ignoring cover, so that's kind of like a rend and a half opposed to rend 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the times when you're shooting stuff, they do get cover against you, just because like if there's a terrain piece between you and the unit at all, you get cover.
Yep.
So like it's a little bit more rend than it reads on the surface. A little bit, a half. Huh?
Is that how cover works?
Yes.
Interesting. I didn't realize that was. Is that new for 3rd?
Yes, it's new for 3rd.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so if like there's any terrain piece between you and the shooting, it's cover.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's relevant. I need to remember that.
Yep. So like honestly, like if I'm right about Frightful Touch, this is a great unit in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it certainly gets a lot better than people are giving credit for right now if it has Frightful Touch. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think bow snakes If it doesn't, I think bow snakes are still way better for 90 points.
Well,
But
bow snakes are 190.
yeah. For 190 points, I think they're still way better than the 190 points for these
Oh, I
guys.
see.
They're
Yeah.
kind of,
Okay.
yeah, that's all I was saying.
I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah. I think so because like you can double shoot with them with Marathi, and I'm
Well,
pretty sure that's
even
going
if
away. Yeah, but even if you can't,
yeah,
yeah.
but even if you can't, like they still, I think, are doing like yeah, they're doing the same amount of damage, but I think the double range is just incredibly relevant on
Double
them.
range and double health.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and their double health.
But
That's a good point.
their armor can be rendered, and they're both 5-ups.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So
Yeah, just on the
well,
off chance that I'm right.
actually,
Okay.
because they're 5-ups,
Mm-hmm.
I think that actually makes the wounds more relevant um than the save being
Yeah.
unrendable.
Mm-hmm. And they don't
But
have. Oh, and they
anyway,
have the after up too. Yeah. So yeah, they'll both have the 6-up as well. So you can't say the Night Haunt have it and these don't. But yeah, like I'm hopeful for this. I'm choosing to be
yeah,
hopeful for now.
good.
Yeah, but we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
I bet these are gonna be dirt cheap on eBay, so I might look into that.
I mean, they're a cool new model, so they might not be.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't know.
see. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for it, and if I can get like a deal, I might jump on it.
Yeah, do it.
And like on the
Just, just
off
in
chance
case
I'm
like
correct.
they do turn out to be super good.
Yeah,
Yeah, might as
there's a
well.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're saying there's a chance.
I am. Now this is one I really like, the Spirit Torment. I'm gonna start with saying that it went down 5 points, I think, or it might be exactly the same, but like there's a point where it was 120. Yeah, I think it's
Mhm.
115 now, so it's the same.
Okay.
All right, but it went from D3 damage to flat 2, which
Always
you and
good.
I are both big fan of.
Oh yeah.
Uh, the move characteristic went from 6 to 8.
6 to
Nice.
8. That's
Yep.
pretty nice. Yeah.
And it lost its reroll ones to hit aura, right? But its captured soul energy got a lot better in my opinion.
Oh yeah, isn't it like bring back flat 3 or something?
Yep. So it's if
I
you
suppose I
kill,
can read it right there.
yeah, if you kill so what it used to be is if you killed 3 models, you brought D3 models back to a unit,
Hmm.
or if it was 3 Stormcast models, you brought back 3.
Which is
Now,
very hard to do. Yeah.
yeah, if you kill 1 model whatsoever on any combat phase, not just yours, any, you can bring back 3 models to a unit, but you can't double tap on a unit. So you can't bring 2 Spirit Torments and hit the same unit twice with it. But
Still, that's really good.
you can hit 2 different units with 2 different Spirit Torments, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredibly good.
Mm-hmm. That's a huge jump, but we lost the
Yeah.
reroll ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's to be kind of expected.
Yeah, of course.
They turned it from like an offensive support piece into like a defensive support piece. More like
Yeah.
they made it feel more deathy
Mm-hmm.
than just rerolling ones to hit.
I'm gonna be honest. I stopped bringing these like all together my death lists,
Oh yeah.
and like yeah, because like the reroll ones, like yeah, the army doesn't hit super hard. I don't really care. I'm here to outlast. So I always brought the Spirit Torment, or not the Spirit Torment, the Guardian of Souls that brought back models with its spell, and then gave them
Oh
plus
yeah,
one
that's
to
right.
wound bubble.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember playing against that a bunch. Yeah.
yeah. So like, I used to bring one of each, and now I just bring 2 of the other one.
So now you'll probably. I mean,
I'll bring these a
in the
lot
short
more.
term, you might as well just. Sounds like you might want to just bring 2 of those.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather this than D6 models because it's flat 3, you know.
Right. Hell yeah.
And killing one thing in the combat phase, I don't think is a huge ask in a lot of armies.
No,
Yeah.
you can definitely kill one thing.
Yeah, I think the only time it's a huge ask is like against dragons or gargants,
Sure.
or
Yeah.
like even like cavalry armies maybe. But I think
But like,
most of the time, I don't think it's a big ask. Oh,
Yeah, but
buildings. Oh.
it's just any Nighthaunt unit. Like if you're not killing anything in a combat phase,
Yeah,
like yeah, unless it's like dragons or gargants, like
you're
you
losing
got to be
anyway.
killing
Yeah.
something, right? Yeah,
hmm It was a game you're never gonna win.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not doing any damage, like yeah, you're kind of screwed.
hmm Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this.
Yeah, that seems really good.
Yeah, like there's no downside to me.
Although it's interesting that you were saying that that you never run that for the reroll once to hit, because like the random thing I was reading about it, it's like, oh, this was like a staple. The army like needed this rerolls once to hit,
Yeah, I just.
which maybe is just like totally off base.
Yeah, I don't know who said that because there's a 5-0 Night Hunt list this weekend that didn't even have them either.
Okay, yeah, so
Yeah,
maybe that was just like wildly inaccurate.
I think it was.
Yeah,
And like, especially in the world, like in second edition, where like you had a command ability that was reroll once to hit.
right.
Like, is I don't know, because I feel like when in second edition, and we had like all the things that were reroll ones to save and reroll ones to hit, everybody and their brother was like, "Well, I don't super care about that." And then
Yeah.
as soon
Oh
as
no,
we
I totally
lost it,
agree.
we're like, "Oh, it's a mainstay staple."
Yeah,
Yeah, and like I don't know,
I'm like,
I never rated it.
maybe not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or even like Sylvan, if they got it a lot of the places, and you're like, I'm still running Winterleaf because exploding sixes is strictly better.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I never saw this as a mainstay ability,
Yeah.
and like I just stopped
Yep.
running it altogether because like that, or if like I wanted survivability, I brought the Curlgas Cruciator with the 5 up board.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I suppose like I'm excited to run this another list now though.
Yeah,
Like I just
definitely.
think yeah, 6 models a combat round is pretty big.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, that seems really good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if like somehow you can manage to not lose like a ton of units in a turn.
Yeah.
Like the goal would be to lose 3, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
push as hard as you can and to lose like 3 models in a unit, and then just get them all back
Yeah.
for like maximum efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Or even like just like there's grind value there too. If you're like if you lose like 7 and then you get back 3 every
Yeah.
turn, and like you're still getting like an extra round of combat out of that unit.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Or even if you like do a big charge and then you lose 7, and then the next turn you take out the other thing that was waiting, and then like, you can recover that. It's recoupable.
Yep.
Yeah. Nothing but good things to say about this guy.
Yeah, I think he's really good.
And then we got what good spirit torment would there be if there weren't for his chain gas buddies? And this one, interesting changes. You notice I went from a 4 up to a 5 up save.
Ooh.
That's a
All right.
little it's a little rough,
Yep.
but wait, there's more. The Geist Flail stayed exactly the same, except for in melee. It used to be an attack for each enemy model within 2 inches of you, and now it's just D3 attacks.
Okay.
But
Eh,
I never wanted these things in combat anyway, because they're 75 for 2. And they're 5 up save now with 2 wounds, so like they weren't
yeah.
survivable.
Yeah.
So
And
like
now
their
they're way
combat
less.
got way worse, but I never had them in combat anyway because they're really not for that.
Okay.
So what's their rule? Another link in the chain. What it used to be is if they were within 12 inches of a spirit torment, they gave reroll ones to hit to units within 12 of them.
Okay.
Now what it does is it adds 1 to hit for Night Haunt within 12 inches if there's another chain gas. No, if there's a chain or if there's a spirit torment on the battlefield at all. Not within 12, just at all.
Oh, okay.
Way better, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stocks. I think this thing is great.
So was it
70.
called another link in the chain before because it like extended the ability
Yeah.
if they were there?
Yep.
But now it like totally does something totally different. It's just called the same thing.
Yeah, but you
Kind
need
of
the
funny.
hero on the table for this to work.
Yeah.
So it's very slightly yeah, named correctly.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, I think these are great, and I think people are very upset with how much less damage it does now.
Mhm.
But like, I don't think you ever brought these for damage, and then their support ability is just way better.
But yeah, it's basically like a whatever. I wasn't going to attack with this
Hmm.
anyway, so like,
Yeah.
why is everyone making a fuss?
Now I want to point out too, because this is hilarious to me, is in the Broken Realms Be'lakor sub factions, there's the Reichenor's Condemned, which says if you have a Night Haunt unit in range of this or the Spirit Torment, they get to reroll hits together, like all together.
Oh,
Yeah, so this currently in that faction gives you +1 to hit and reroll hits.
oh my god!
That's not going to stay, by the way.
No, that is not going to stay.
That's
That is
not going to stay, but in the meantime, we.
it's there now.
Yeah. So somebody's going to do a dumb tournament list for a second
Oh yeah,
and take advantage of that. I might take advantage of that one
yeah,
time.
shit, man, right?
Yeah. But yeah, like, I don't know. Even without that, I think these are cool. But
Yep.
then I hear this one thing on like a lot of the reviews that I didn't really agree with, and I wanted to explore that. Is that people are saying if you want ranged units, you don't take the Craven Guard at all, and you just take these for their points. What
Oh,
are,
interesting.
what are your reads on that to begin with?
2d3 attacks. I think they're right.
Okay, let's see. So this is the Craven Throne Guard and versus the Chain Guests, and their average damage currently written on the War Scroll right now.
Okay,
Let me know when you
I'm
see
still
it.
waiting for it to show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at 2-up save, the Chain Guests are better.
Yeah.
Every other save, the Craven Throne Guard are better.
Wait, that looks like the Craven Throne Guard are always better.
Okay, you're right. I think. Hold on. No. Oh, come back. Oh, my slideshow went away, Bill.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
here we
still see
go.
it for now.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the Craven Throne Guard are better in this graph, and this is just one unit of Craven Throne Guard at 95 points versus
Yep.
one unit of Spirit Torment at Jesus Christ, Chain Ghasts at 75.
Hmm.
So there's a points discrepancy there.
Yep.
And then the next slide is what I meant to say was better. So this is what I did here was I took the lowest common denominator and I put 4 units of Chain Rasp versus 3 units of Craven Throne Guard, and
Hmm.
the Chain Rasps are 300 and the Craven Throne Guard are 285, and this is their average damage at like
Okay.
very
Yep.
similar point values. And this
Yep.
is what I meant when I was like, okay, so the Craven Throne Guard are worse at 2-up and then better at every other save profile.
Yeah. But so what I think though is that they're better, but they're very, very marginally better,
Yeah,
and you get all the extra abilities with the Chain Ghast.
yeah. And do you think the 3 inches is like absolutely way more relevant? Because I heard that argument too.
I I honestly think it's so I think I slightly disagree with you on the how relevant the like ignoring cover
Sure.
and like shooting through things is gonna be. I
Mm-hmm.
do think that the 3 extra inch. So the thing is, like, the farther out you get, and I'm doing using my hands to demonstrate, but no one can see it.
Sure.
The
Mm-hmm.
farther out you get, actually, the more surface area you get that it covers now
Mm-hmm.
for the extra distance. Like, it's just like the area is bigger because you're farther out, right? So like 3 extra inches on 12 inches is actually quite a large amount of area. It might even be like about as much area as it covers now.
Okay.
So I think it is actually very relevant having the extra 3 inches of range.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are their move speeds? I actually missed that
They're
because
both
I feel
8.
like that's right. They're both 8. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Yeah,
just thought that was an interesting comparison. To like
I
put
think I
math to
tend to
it.
agree with people that you do take those. Um, because the damage is very similar
Mm-hmm.
as you pointed out there. The chain gas are better, but um, I think you know it'd be interesting. I don't know if you have it. Maybe you have it next. But if they have Frightful Touch, I think the Craven Throne Guard are going to get way better because the
That's what
chain
the next
gas are
slide
kind of
is, by the
relying
way.
on. Is it? Is it? Okay, I
Yep.
was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the next slide is exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
I wanted to get into the point too of like, yeah, you still have double the wounds for the points though, with the same save with Craven Throne Guard. So I don't think that's ignorable either.
Do the chain gas not have 2 wounds each? Are they one?
They're 2 wounds each.
So they're 2 wounds each for 75. So that's 4 wounds, and the chain gas for the same point for like 20 more points at 5.
Yeah, I guess it's not double, but I think it's double the bodies and objectives is what I meant.
Okay, that is
Yeah,
true. Yes, because I think wounds wise, actually the
they're
chain
pretty
gas are
similar.
slightly better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just meant for like objectives. That's what I meant,
Yeah.
not
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
for
yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
abilities.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
but
Absolutely.
I think that's something to keep in mind too. I don't think it's cut and dry, like people are saying it is, but I think as you're yeah, I think as it is currently, that's probably true because they're a good support piece too. But
Yeah. I
yeah,
think I would think I would tend to agree. I don't think it's necessarily cut and dry, but I think it's kind of close because like we were like, oh, we like this guy, right, with the chain gas, and I
yeah,
even realized that it had like the ranged attack to start with.
mm-hmm.
So it's kind of one of those like, oh, that actually sounds cool. Oh, and it can do this thing almost as good as the dedicated ranged unit can
Yeah,
do, and that's what it feels like anyway.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
and this is the frightful touch chart, and this is that
yeah, yeah,
300 point units too.
yeah, yeah. That's what I expected
Yeah,
to
and
see
then the
there
damage
because
is doubled,
yeah,
basically. Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, like I don't know. I think if like they're a battle line in one of the sub factions too, even without frightful touch, like they're your cheapest battle line in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to write them off. But yeah,
Oh
it's
no,
not looking great.
I think like right now, like before the book comes out, I think I do agree that you go with the chain gas, but there's like a million reasons why when the book comes out that you would go with the Craven Throne Guard
Yep.
instead. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I just think it's good to look at those numbers instead of just having a,
Yeah,
like I
like a
have
thought in
a
your head, like
yeah.
yeah,
Because
exactly. Yeah,
remember when
do the math.
we did the math for the eels
Yeah, and we were like,
versus the
wait a
sharks,
second.
and it's like
Yeah,
exactly the same, and
yeah,
like it feels like the sharks do an absurd amount more damage, and that
they
couldn't
really
be
don't.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So like I think that was I wanted to do that for that reason, but
Yeah.
I think it
Oh,
proved exactly what
absolutely.
everyone thought.
Yeah. Which, hey,
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But like at least we did it.
Right. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, I really think Frightful Touch is coming, and I don't know how much I can stress that.
I really do too. I'm gonna be so sad if it doesn't, and the
Yeah.
Craven Throne Guard are just like why do these exist?
And that's
I'd be very
possible.
sad.
Yeah.
It is possible,
But I'm
and
choosing to be optimistic, and I don't think
hell
anybody else
yeah.
has this take yet. So we're bringing a unique take.
Yep.
So we
Really,
got
no
to
one else
tell.
has thought of that?
Not that I've heard of online, but I'm sure somebody else has thought of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but we might be the
Very
only
interesting.
people doing like reviews with that assumption. Because it's actually terrible to do reviews with information that you think it could be right, rather than just what we know.
Yeah,
But I think it's a
then
more
you just get
interesting
like,
show if we do it this way. And we're doing
well,
both. Yeah.
I think it's okay too
Yeah.
because like you're because you're trying to put some context to it. It's like this is what they could do,
Mm-hmm.
and like instead of just being all down and dour, you'll be like, well, no, hang on, there's hope. If they do this thing that seems pretty reasonable,
Yeah.
things actually seem pretty good, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's normally how we're gonna handle this. But like it's just I'm so very confident that this is what's gonna happen with this book.
Right. Yeah.
And like 70% sure, I would say, I think. Maybe 80. And I think it's good to explore. That's
Yeah.
all. Yeah. All right, but yeah, like the damage is very interesting. So with Frightful Touch and
Jeez.
without, like it's two very different units, two very different profiles to look at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then we have a few more Night Haunts. This one just makes me sad. So remember the Blade Geist Revenants from old?
Oh yeah.
This is the exact same War Scroll, except for they lost the reroll hits when they're near Chain Ghast or a Spirit Torment.
Or they didn't change points, did they?
They did not change points. So this is just a strict downgrade for this unit.
That is so sad.
Yep. So
But
like
if they get the Frightful Touch, it's kind of okay, right?
yeah, so we'll talk about what their role is. They're fast. They're 2 attacks, threes, -1/1, and they get +1 attacks if they charge, and then they can retreat and charge.
Okay.
Which retreat and charge is actually absurdly powerful. Like way
It
more
does seem
powerful
very
than it
good.
seems.
Yeah,
Citrus,
yeah.
thank you for the Prime, man. Good to see you again. How you doing, bud?
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, so like yeah, retreat and charge is very good. Like you can do some tricksy stuff with it, and it's good to have like a unit that's capable of it.
Yep.
But like they just got a straight debuff when you are not bringing them anymore in favor of Dreadscythe Harridans to begin with, because of the
Yeah.
-1 to hit if you're braver than them.
Yeah.
All right, but I
Which
think
you probably are.
yeah. And then I did the damage of the blue is the Blade Geists with the reroll hits. The new is the Blade Geists as they are in the War Scroll right now, or the green is that, and then the orange is if they get Frightful Touch. And if you see like on high armor stuff,
Yeah, they
Frightful
get
Touch is way good, and then on low armor stuff, you want it the way it was before.
right. But that gives them like a clear role, right?
Yeah,
From like who they go after.
yeah, exactly.
You know, like these graphs are just like really selling it, like that they're probably gonna get Frightful Touch because like the graphs with Frightful Touch are like, oh yeah, okay, that seems reasonable, right?
Yeah,
And it's like, and without, you're just like, what the fuck is this?
I'm telling you, it's coming.
I mean,
85%.
I super want to believe it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just like worried that it's gonna be disappointing, and if they don't get it, but like,
yeah.
it sure feels like they're going to, or at least something like along the same lines.
Here's how I see it. It's going to be disappointing if they don't, or it's extremely disappointing right now. You
Yeah.
know, and like I'd rather like instead of just being a doomsayer, I'd rather just be like, hold on though,
Hold on, it could be okay.
we're on the cusp of greatness.
Yeah.
And the other thing that would make it good is if like the charge you just attack, so everything has 2 combats, and then its damage is doubled.
That would be really cool.
Which I think Frightful Touch is way more likely than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do you think it might be a conditional Frightful Touch?
As in like Frightful Touch if.
Yeah. Like if you're in range of a hero,
No, I think it would be
or maybe it's a
unconditional.
command ability, or
A command ability. Maybe heroes give it out, but like they're already death's already so like hero dependent.
Mhm.
I guess it doesn't change anything, but yeah, so like the ward save's already there for them, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know.
Because I was just thinking there might be a middle ground where it's not like just like you have it all the time, but like it's easy to get.
Frightful Touch on the charge.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was just thinking of other possible options. Not that I want it to be other options, because it seems like it makes sense if
yeah.
they just have it. But like maybe it's like slightly different.
I
And
could
like
see it being
where's the line
yeah.
where it's like good or like too much?
Mm-hmm. I think what they gotta not do is because I could see a world where they give it and then you can modify it. Like if they have like 6 ups to hit or mortal wounds, but there's a command trait that makes it a 5 up.
Ooh.
Like that could be cool, but I feel like if you mess with that too much, you could make it like backbreaking.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You can make it absolutely too powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that's actually like exactly what Lumineth have, right?
Yeah,
So like that doesn't
but
seem totally out of the
but
question
we're
to me.
not order, Bill. We're a death book.
You're a lowly death faction. Get the fuck out
Yeah,
of here.
we're not an order book. We don't allow. We're not allowed to have good things. Yeah, or even that's playing chaos. You just get like if an elf book has it, they get like it written in the benefit of the doubt to be the best way possible for them,
Yeah.
and then like
I know exactly what you're saying.
yeah, that's all.
Good thing I played two elf armies, so I can benefit from it too.
Man, I should play elf army so like
You
I always
should.
have
I don't
a
know. I don't know what you're
competitive army to play.
doing.
Yeah.
All elf armies are good. I think there's something wrong here. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's not really true because Sylvaneth you can kind of say ish is an elf army,
Yeah.
and they're not very good. So
Well, I think it checks out because they're kind of ish if you squint hard enough.
yeah,
An elf army,
so they're
but they're
kind of
kind of
ish
good
good if
squish.
you squint hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have like the mortal boon bomb list that's like really good against some armies, and
Uh-huh.
like you can place pretty well in tournaments with it.
Yeah.
Like that's your squinting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Checks out. Oh man. Yeah. I guess we'll see how it goes with this unit because I'm not hopeful right now.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully it goes good.
And the last one I want to talk about is one that I am pretty hopeful about, and I really like. And it's the Mirrormorn Banshees. Yeah, they're down from 85 to 75 points. That's a good start.
Yep.
Their characteristics in the top left stayed exactly the same.
Okay.
They went from damage D3 to 2.
Good change.
And they used to
Doesn't
have
change the average, but good change.
They used to have one attack with a conditional 2 attacks, and now they just have 2 attacks.
All right.
Way better.
So what did they lose?
So what they used to do is it's weird because they didn't lose, but it just changed, and it's really hard to tell if it's a good change or a bad change. But I think it's good. So
okay.
They used to be able to dispel spells within 18 inches. Just say yes, and we can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they do it.
They could dispel spells at 18 inches as if they were a wizard. Now, if they're within 12 inches of a unit that is a target of a spell, they can dispel it by beating the casting value of the roll, not the wizard's roll. Huh?
So the reason I stuttered there so goddamn hard is because I'm so used to dispelling just being 30 inches. So when you said 18, I had to think in my head. It's like, does he mean getting rid of an endless spell right now?
No.
Or does he mean like dispelling a spell? And like just my brain just like fucking hung up on me.
They have an endless spell thing too, but I'm talking about normal spells right now.
Yeah, sure.
So like so if something within 12 inches of them get hit by a spell, you can say no if you roll on 2 dice above the spell's casting value.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's a huge buff, even though it's a lower range. But it's more like a defensive thing, or you just like harass a main unit they want to buff and then make it really hard for them to get it.
Oh, that's interesting. You can do that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
75 points. Like, they're nothing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like you just
and like their damage isn't bad.
Yeah. Or like my first thought is like you run up to Teclis and get like real close to him. And then he does like the light of Hish. And then you can just try to dispel that. I think that's like a 9 though, right?
It's a 10.
Oh, is it a 10? Okay.
Yeah, all his spells are 10. So that's probably a bad example, but I see where you're going with it.
Yeah, there's other stuff like that for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't realize they were naturally 10s.
Yeah, because it works out really well for him too, because it's because he casts on a minimum of a 10, so they just made him 10s, and then that like is relevant sometimes.
So if you ever give him a minus to cast, he can't get 4 spells and use those. Is that how
you cannot? He cannot be modified. His casting cannot be modified in any way.
All right. Yep. Forgive me for thinking there's fun and interaction to be had.
Oh no! Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah,
you don't touch my tech list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? Okay. Well, anyway. But yeah, I think there's like plenty of other heroes that aren't gods that you can do that trick I was talking about with, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Just like
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely harass them, or you just like put it on a thing you want to protect from spells.
Yep.
And like a 12-inch bubble as a defense is pretty big. Because not wholly
Yeah.
within, it's just within. Oh, unit wholly within. Okay, it's wholly within, but still, that's good. They're cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Only
then
within does make it worse, but
yeah.
at the same time, like, I don't think that much worse.
Yeah. Also, add 1 to the roll if this unit has 3 or more models. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just have to like that's really easy to get rid of the Mystic Shield.
It's a unit of 4.
Oh wait, how many did you say?
3 or more.
Has 3 or more. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they're fragile as all hell, of course, but like
Right.
that's tech, and then they can dispel endless spells. Or if an endless spell moves within 6 inches of this
Does
thing.
that have to move, or can it be spawned within?
Finishes a move within 6 inches.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So you can't actually get rid of a mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little sad.
Yeah, but you know what my brain thinks of is
The Life Storm.
we put the life swarm down because it's when it's set up and when it moves. You get to do the
Mm-hmm.
two D3. Yeah, and then it lands next to these things, and then it dispels it for you. So on your next turn, you can cast it and get the setup, and then move it.
There you go.
Yep.
So the question there, though, is of course, like, once again, do you have something better you'd rather cast?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the life swarm's not bad.
Oh no, it's
But
not
we'll
that
have to
it's
see what
not
the
bad,
book is.
but like,
Yeah.
can you do something better than healing D3 with your spell?
The spirit or the Guardian of Souls natural spell right now is D6 heal, so that might just be better.
Yep.
It, yeah. I think the Gash, you just want like arcane bolts with him, and then like rerolling hits and wounds on his staff or sword or whatever you want to fight. So yeah, um, I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right. I think it's going to be hard to have a list that really pulls that off well, but like I think it's possible.
But it could be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
got
I
a
think if
chance.
you have a guy with an arcane tome, oh, you're not going to want to cast Mystic Shield because you can't benefit from it.
That's true. That's very true.
Yep. Which is
So you have
not
less
a good
like
selling
default
point for this
spells.
army. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but it's something else you could do with those casts instead,
Yeah.
and get like a similar benefit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, like
Yeah, I wasn't trying to just drag you down there, Alex.
No,
It's
I get
just
it, but yeah, I'm just no, like that's a good question to ask because there's like I'm being a Johnny for the sake of being a Johnny, or there's actual merit to it, right?
yeah.
Like I think
It
that's
was
an
actually
important
just like
question to
something I
ask.
just thought of this stream. Like when we talk about this kind of things, like, well,
Yeah.
hang on, what's the opportunity cost?
Yeah, and I
I
think
for
it's
some reason
important.
didn't think of that till now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I think these guys do a lot for 75.
they do seem pretty good. They are very fragile.
Yeah.
There's only 4 of them, so like their wound economy is dreadful.
It's better than the chain gas though.
Isn't it exactly the same?
No, but it's on a 4-up instead of a 5-up.
Oh, it's on a 4-up. Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. But these guys like only have melee weapons. So like the chain gas are a
Yeah.
support piece that also have range. So I think they're still
It's
more
different.
survivable simply
Yeah.
because where you're gonna put them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think these guys can do good stuff for a list. Is all
No,
I'm
I do
getting
too.
at.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play with these.
Yeah.
And this is the unit that I got like the extra of because the guy sent me the wrong thing. So after
But
I get
hopefully
the
they're real
boss,
good so that you can.
yeah, I'll have 20 of them.
Oh wow. All
Yeah,
right.
so
Are they 20? Are they worth? Is it worth having 20 of them?
if
We'll
they're
find
battle
out.
line conditionally,
Oh yeah, maybe. A lot
are
of
they?
most
Probably
things
not.
seem to be. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
it's possible.
In the Age of Beasts, you get books where everything's a battle line.
Yeah.
So maybe. But if
Maybe.
not, like they might make a cool little like thing on a kit bash to like surround something.
Yeah.
give some little flair too. But I'm very hopeful about these. I think they could do a lot of work, and I'm really looking forward to playing it.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah. Now we're on to the Daughters of Cain stuff. I didn't put most of these here because most of them did not change at all.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about the new units and the stuff that did change.
Well, there's
And
only one new unit, so here we are.
Yep. And this is like we went through the whole book being for Nighthawk stuff being like it's not great. There's some really cool stuff here, and then you're gonna see this and you're gonna go like, oh, what the hell? Like Nighthawk get that, and this is what the daughters get.
Alex, you already explained this.
Yeah,
It's an elf army.
yeah, it's an elf army. I'm
Yeah.
just saying though. So this thing's 100 points. Keep this in mind with the Scriptor Mortis, and like it's a little it's less survivable because it's a 5-up save, same amount of wounds, and not ethereal.
Yeah.
But it's got it's got a total of 6 attacks that are 3s -1/1. Okay. And then it's got like the killing stroke rule that they talked about in the community a little bit ago, where essentially how it works is that you roll a dice if the model has 3 wounds or less. And if you roll so if it has 3 wounds and you roll a 3, you kill it. If it has 2 wounds and you roll a 3 and a 2, you kill it. And if it has 1 wound and you just kill it.
Okay.
Yeah. But that like can be on anything too. So like if Gorjak has like 3 wounds left, you have a chance of just straight out killing him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like it's cool, but I don't put stock in that ability so much.
Mhm.
This is the part that's silly. The barbed whips and sacrificial knives used by witch elves and sisters of slaughter units that are wholly within 12 of this have a wounds characteristic of 3-up instead of a 4-up, and a rend of -1 instead of nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. So the interesting thing to me there is like they could have just said +1 to wound, and they didn't. And
Yeah, why did they spend so many words on that?
so here's the
Oh,
reason.
because you can give it an additional +1 after that.
Yes, and like that's so
Wow.
rare. Like how many armies can do that? But again, I made the case when like the Daughter's book was announced, and I said like their whole allegiance abilities is just reroll upon reroll. Yeah, so round 4
So
they
now
get
it's
reroll ones
stack
to
upon
hit.
stack, right?
Yeah, so now it's just gonna be +1 to hit. So on round 4, your whole army's hitting on 2 or wounding on 2s.
Yeah.
Is what this reads to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least the relevant shit.
Yep. Yeah, wounds on.
Wow.
Yeah. Round 1, you add 1 to run rolls. Round 2, you add 1 to charge rolls. Round 3, you add 1 to hit rolls. Round 4, you add 1 to wound rolls. And then in round 5, you add 1 to saves. Or no, you reduce the enemy's rend by 1. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's what that army's going to be.
Oh, for
And
sure.
I can't wait to say I told you so on the review show. Even though you're not disagreeing with me in the slightest.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, but like
No, that
that's
sounds very, very likely.
That's 1,000% the reason they like worded it like that, right? So it's
Yeah,
not
so that
just a
you can get
non-bow
the
with your
extra.
core. Yeah.
Yep.
And you're like, oh boy, okay. All right, that's
They
what we're gonna be looking
probably
forward
debated
to.
between wording it like increase by 1 and this can increase it more than 1 or something.
Yeah.
Or just changing the characteristic
Mm-hmm.
would be my guess.
Yeah. As sure as I am that the Nighthawk are getting frightful touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that's gonna work for this army.
Oh yeah.
And that'll be strong.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, great hero.
No, that seems very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you really want to put it in combat too often though, because
No.
it does have a 5-up save. So
Yeah.
but yeah, you just put it behind the lines. It's just like
You know what
yeah,
that ability reads to me, actually? Is let's say you're fighting with witch elves and then like the guy piles in to fight a unit and then he piles into range of this accidentally and then he gets hurt and then you like snipe him.
Yeah, it could easily be something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
How
like
many
that's how.
times have you
But
played?
like,
Yeah.
don't you just like put it like in the middle of a wish elf blob or something though?
No, because it
Then
has to
like,
be within 1 inch of the hero that it's doing that killing blow to. So it can't
oh,
like
I see what you're
safely be in the
saying. I
middle.
see what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's just supposed to like deter piling into your unit, I
Right.
think. But yeah, I think that rule is hardly going to be relevant, even though it's kind of cool. I think
I
it's good
think
to
it's just
see.
going to be
Yeah,
brought for the what Paragon of Slaughter part.
yeah, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. I think you just keep it
Hmm.
safe. You don't worry about the rest,
Yeah, exactly. And like
and
if
it
that
just
comes
gives
up,
a
it's hilarious.
massive buff. Yeah.
Hmm. I could actually see that in like 600-point Path to Glory games being an actual good ability.
Oh yeah, it could be. That'd be fun.
Yeah, or like against other heroes of its own.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that one could surprise us, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it takes the right kind of game for that to be good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But like that's kind
I
of cool
agree.
that there's tools for that.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got the
Sorry about your
Chimera.
Scriptor Mortis.
I Yeah. In what fucking world is that 150 points and this is
God,
100?
you
Right?
fucking don't know, man. Like I really don't know. Like the amount of extra damage that does is way more than 7. I feel like
Oh my
per
god,
game,
yeah. Yeah.
right? Like I don't
On
know, man.
turn two, even.
Yeah, seriously, and it's just reliable. It's not like this is like some like super rare occurrence. It's like, yeah, if you're rolling a whole fucking blob of dice for witch elves, you're gonna roll
Hmm.
some for some twos, and then suddenly they're gonna be hits. Or
Might I remind you that witch elves are good?
yeah,
Sisters of Slaughter are good. And I
exactly.
guess the thing I forgot to say is that it piles in 6 inches instead of three, like the zombies do, but the Sisters of Slaughter do that too. So it's just the name Sister of Slaughter. That's all she is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's cool,
And
even.
like there might even be times where you want to do that, and like it's like super good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, it is probably good. Like if you like feel like you can finish something off because you let them go first as many
Yeah.
times as they can, then they have to fight with that. And then you're like, haha, pile in 6.
Yeah, actually, I didn't really think about that until I said that out loud right now. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's exactly how it works, right? That's exactly how you
yeah,
get the killing blow in.
yep.
Like you
And
keep
that's how
it
you keep it
safely
safe,
away.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then like you
yeah,
wait for your Gorjak to fight, and then you like do 4 damage to it. And hopefully it was
yeah.
at 7.
And then it
And
fucking
then
dies.
plop it, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, she's really good.
I think so. Yeah,
She's
like
really
that was
good.
like a we don't even need that ability, and we still think she's really good. And then it was like, oh, hang on, there's a little play here. There's a little more play here.
Yeah.
Oh, and she got 100 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got what do we get? A very close to auto take hero and an auto shelf hero.
Yeah,
Is the
that's
way to
exactly
put
what
it.
we got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's okay because Night Hunt didn't need heroes anyway because they already have a lot of very good heroes, but it looked cool and it's sad.
yeah.
But yeah,
Maybe it turned into a different Nighthawk hero instead.
yeah, exactly. By Guardian of Souls with Arcane Tome.
Yeah.
That's an Arcane Tome, that big fucking Death Note.
Oh, absolutely
Yeah,
is. Yeah. That's not a book of judgment. What are you talking
yeah.
about?
Just give him a
Wrong book,
staff.
man.
Yeah, man, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Canary now. Because this change is very subtle, and I think it might have been missed. So, it used to have a 6-up save, but it has a 5-up save now.
Okay.
And it used to have a rule that was this thing gets +1 to save. In addition, whenever it rolls a save of 6, it puts a mortal wound back onto the enemy. So it lost that, but it's just a 5-up now,
Oh.
so you can stack it better.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting actually.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Because a 4-up save is relevant, right? Like if you give that an extra +1 save,
yeah.
like suddenly it's feeling more survivable.
Mm-hmm.
I is it I don't know if it is it 5-up to 4-up that's like probably the most meaningful increase
4 up
in.
to 3-up, I would say, is the most meaningful.
Yeah, it probably is that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but
But
like,
it,
that's
it
close. That's second, then, if it's not
yeah,
first.
it's getting there, right?
Yeah.
And I think 3-up to 2-up is actually the most meaningful, but like when you're getting to that range, you're just gonna have to run through it anyway. Like you're
Yeah.
already gonna have to run through it to really get to them. So
Yeah, I guess, like, it's mathematically better from 3-up to 2-up, but I
yeah,
just think because, like, the average of the dice is the 3-5, right? Or like when we were
Right.
playtesting that game I was making a while back, and we noticed that like a 3-up save things were very tanky, and a 4-up save things were very squishy.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the same kind of principle here, except for it's like
Yeah.
opposite. Because that
Yeah.
game works
Exactly.
opposite as this one, almost
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's relevant. I think the points went up by 5,
Okay.
and a couple other things changed too. So it can deep strike, and it has an additional run when it deep strikes. That's always the same.
Mhm.
But now it used to have a rule where after it shot on a 4-up, it could make a normal move of 6 inches. Now, after it shoots, it can make a normal move of 6 inches.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's just a straight bonus.
Yeah.
And it's one you can rely on. It's nice to be able to rely on that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's a way better unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think the mortal wounds thing was kind of cool, but I think I just like the guaranteed movement way better.
Yeah, it's an
You can do
interesting change
tricks.
because like you
Yeah.
get like it's a little more survivable now
Mm-hmm.
as well,
Yeah.
kind of, if you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an interesting change. I wonder if their overall damage goes down a bunch because of that or not. Also,
Oh, because of the 6-up bounce back.
yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, we could talk about that like a little bit, but
I feel like it does against
volume of attack.
yeah, volume of attack units. And now that's
Mm-hmm.
actually an interesting question because it has that. Yeah, I know you have to attack with all your weapons. Do you pick a weapon, attack with it, and if something's still alive, pick the next weapon, attack with it?
So
Like, do you order it like that,
I think
or do you
how it
have to attack with
works,
everything?
you have to attack with everything,
Okay,
but you make your saves one at a time technically.
so you can't actually just roll all of your saves then with them,
So
because that
you
would
can,
feel real bad.
yeah, you could fast roll, right? So like I think how you can, oh yeah, because like if you could wipe out the unit, then technically you couldn't roll your saves all at once.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that is that because I thought you were allowed to always fast roll because like that would feel real bad if you couldn't. If you
Yeah.
actually have to roll
I
saves one
gotta
at a time. I guess it's
act.
not relevant because it's going away. But
Yeah.
like
Well, I mean, well, no, because the Sisters of Slaughter have that rule,
oh okay.
and it's still there.
Yeah.
So it's only going away on this thing. So I want to go to the core rules. Age of Sigmar core rules search. Save. Is that how we do it? Attack sequence?
Might be attack sequence.
No, it'd be under. Yeah. So they're saying your opponent rolls a dice, modifying the roll of the attack's friend. If it equals or beats, it's the save rolls do not always succeed on unmodified 6. They can be modified. Okay. Okay. No, that didn't help.
And I think it has to do with allocating wounds. That's probably where that rule would show up.
Allocating wounds. Okay.
Because then it'll probably say after you allocate the wounds, then you roll saves. Or something like that.
Once the friendly unit's attacks have been made, add up the damage. Oh, so allocating wounds happens after save rolls. So I guess it would be under allocating wounds. But no.
So allocating hits? Allocating damage? No.
Number of attacks.
Well, actually, no. That might. Hang on. That allocating wounds might be exactly what
Okay.
we want because okay. So here's why. Um, so you so you roll the dice, then you allocate wounds after rolling your saves, right?
Yes.
So you come up with how much damage it is, and then you allocate the wounds. And if it spills over, then everything's dead and whatever.
Right.
But you still roll the saves for
You
all of
make
the
all your
hits.
save rolls, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
it's good
think
against
that's what
volume
that's
of
saying.
attacks. Yeah, that's what it sounds
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
me.
But
Yeah,
then
I
it
just had
also
to think it
sounds like
through.
you wouldn't attack with the next weapon. Because there wouldn't be anything left. Probably?
Yeah, so I guess we gotta go back to attacks now.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody, deal with this.
Yeah, it's interesting,
Well,
right?
not deal with it, but like, let us walk through this real quick. Attack sequence. No. Number of attacks? No. You can make combined attacks if all the attacks are made by a model from the same unit with the same weapon type against the same target unit.
You can.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Make the attacks one at a time unless you're making combined attacks. See the below. Oh, so you're attacking one at a time, technically. And then
Ew.
you can fast roll. Right,
Mega
with
ew.
combined attacks, yeah. So if you want to like minimize the damage coming from the bladed shields, you do them one at a time until the unit's dead,
Well,
right?
okay, so I guess the question is, does it say anything about if there's no models left, stop making attacks?
And see. You can make combined attacks if all the attacks are made by models from the same unit with the same weapon type against the same target, rerolls, and applies. If this is the case, make all the hit rolls at the same time, then make all the wound rolls at the time, and then finally make all the save rolls. That's all it says.
Oh my god. I have no idea. Like
Yeah.
there's like something missing there. And
Mm-hmm.
it's
For like this specific edge case here.
yeah, of like trying to do weird things to minimize damage. Like can you or are you just gonna eat a whole lot of shit?
I think you roll them one at a time, or just take the risk of eating a lot of shit.
That always sucks when it's like the correct way to do things is
The awful, not fun way.
painful. Yeah.
Yeah, I
When
think that's what it
technically it's
says.
the better way.
That's what it said. Am I wrong? You think?
I don't know. I think it I don't know.
Need more words.
I feel like there's just some clarification that needs to happen there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe it's fully explained, but like it's just like somewhere else, or it's like in a fact somewhere or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is where a Daughters of Cain player could really help us.
yeah. And I feel like even if we talk to a Darzakane player, they might not know.
Yeah.
That might be just like a weird question that's like, oh, I never thought about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I bet you almost everybody just goes, oh, I just rolled my saves. Okay, there's, you know, I saved 3 of them with 6s, take 3. Oh, look, they're dead.
You know who is a Daughters of Cain player?
Who's that?
Is Tyler from Morcoda.
Oh, there you go.
I could ask him, perhaps.
Person, the person I play at work is a Daughters of Cain player.
Yeah.
So I could ask them.
You could ask them
But
too.
but he's kind of the opinion that generally speaking that Games Workshop writes their rules with like human readable in mind, and
Yes.
like a minutia of the rules is sometimes taken out of context, and like it's very obvious what it should do, but like technically rules is written, it doesn't, and that kind of like gets to him a little bit. It's like, why are we bothering with this? It's like we know what it should do.
Yeah, like
So
that's the
maybe he
Born versus
wouldn't have thought of it.
Bodyguard thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I'll ask and I'll see. Because
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I don't know either.
That's
That's
a
very weird.
conundrum. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, or every Daughters of Cain player ever is just like snickering, being like, "Ha! You chose to fast roll. You don't know what you're doing."
Like the way I read it, like that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, like that's
The only thing that's different there is you do have to allocate all of your attacks at once, right? At the beginning, you always
yeah.
have to attack with all of your. So when you're attacking with a unit, right? You have to
Mm-hmm.
say this many attacks are going to this guy, this many attacks are going to that guy. And you can't like split it up after you attack, right?
Correct. Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, that died. I'm going to put the rest of the attacks over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you would have to put all of them into him anyway.
Yeah, so that's my question. Like, even if they die, because you have to attack with everything you can attack with, right?
Yeah.
And you have to allocate it up front, so you already know how many attacks are going to go into that thing, right?
Yep.
So it wouldn't really matter if it had already died, because I think what you actually should do, like if you had 2 weapon profiles, I think you'd have to roll all of them
Into that.
to see that if they get the 6s, and then they die afterward.
Yeah.
I think.
I think so. So yeah, I think if you overcommit, you can eat a lot of shit with the bladed shields.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think that is true. Yep.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. But I could be
Alright.
wildly wrong
Yeah.
on that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Because like we never really did this when I played Bot Daughters briefly.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised.
I mean,
yeah.
it also might not matter as much as we're kind of thinking it does.
Oh, probably
like,
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Because that is a lot of saves that they would have to make for it to be relevant. And like even if you have a really high tax characteristic, you got to figure at least half of those are not going to be even attempted saves, and then there are saves that are being made, and
Yeah. Well, that was
so
the
does
end.
that mean
Okay.
does that mean an unmodified save roll of 6 does a mortal wound, but if the rend is good enough, they take a wound as well?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure, but let's double check how it's exactly written.
Sure.
So I think it's unmodified rule. Because
I
I think
would
if it was like
bet
modified
anything
on a
to
5 up, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it just works.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Unless
could
there's
like
somewhere
rend you.
out there that's like if you're at a 7 up, you don't make a save roll. Which could make
Yeah,
sense because that's why zombies are dash instead of 7 in that case.
because you don't actually make a save roll.
Yeah.
But you can give him +1 to make him a 6 up, right?
Yeah, and then get a save roll there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose if you modify it past a 6, then they don't even get a save roll. If that's the case, then that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that would check
Which
out.
makes sense why we never ever did that before. Ever.
Yeah, because they have such a shit save that
Yeah.
that it might just rendered through.
Mm-hmm. A 5 up, yeah.
Or I think I only really played like Stormcast against him anyway, and
Yeah.
like they weren't volume of attacks at the time anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so it didn't matter much.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything here. No. Okay. Maybe it's somewhere and I just don't know where to look right now.
Sure, but who knows? Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that was it for Arena of Shades. We did it all.
And that was basically it for the stream too. That was
Yeah.
nice.
Unless we
Yeah,
wanted
that
to
was
do a
perfectly
list.
timed.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. That was.
So what overall impressions?
Overall impressions is the night or the Daughters of Cain thing. It's like that hero's so good.
Yeah.
And then I think the book's going to be pretty minimal based on the War Scrolls being pretty minimal changes. Just all the rerolls are going to become pluses instead, which I'm very happy about. To be honest, I really like that.
They'll probably get rid of the weird Marathi things, and then it'll all feel fine.
Yeah, I would love it if like Marathi doesn't give double shooting to anything, and
Yeah,
it's
that'd
just
be
double
cool.
melee. Like I think that's good enough for a god.
Yep.
The Night Haunt stuff, I think we're one rule away from all of it being absurdly good, whatever that rule may be.
Right.
But it doesn't look good on the surface.
Yeah, it needs that rule, whatever it is,
Yes, exactly.
which is we think most likely Frightful Touch.
Yeah, because I remember we had a very similar reaction, and I think the world did with the Fire Slayer stuff. It's like all of the units got like a straight debuff.
Yeah.
Why? And then the book comes, and it's like, granted, it's not like it's like the Nurgle book where it's like it's good, but it's not like the dragons that are out there right now.
Right.
It's like a B plus book with
Yeah.
like so many build options, and like the lists are cool. And then like it sucked for the shooty units that just suck now, but like the rest of the book is awesome, and I think it's gonna be like that. And hey, it might be sucky for the Craven Throne Guard, but we'll see.
I guess kind of sucks if it is just sucky for them because they're the new unit, so you like want to be most excited for them.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it saves you money in your wallet if they're not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For the list build, you want me to show you the list that went 5-0 at a tournament recently for Nighthawk?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
great.
So it's not a Nagash list, which surprised me,
Oh, okay.
but it's a Guardian of Souls, a Knight of Shrouds, and it's a Emerald Host.
Okay.
Yeah. A Kurlghast Cruciator, Lady Allender, who is the general, so you can use her command ability.
Is
It's
she
gonna
always is she always a general?
no.
Oh, okay,
She's
interesting.
always she had a battalion in the past that made her a general.
Oh, okay, that's what happened. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's two black coaches, a unit of 6 spirit hosts, unit of 10 hex rates, a unit of 10 hex rates, and a unit of 5 hex rates. At 1990, make her the general because you're forced to take a command trait in the Emerald Host, which isn't bad, but like her command ability that you have to be the general to get is a 12-inch bubble of return a slain model to each summonable unit in range.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's a cool synergy. So what the Emerald Host gives you is the first rule is you pick an enemy hero and they get -1 save for the whole game.
Oh, interesting.
And Hex Raids can bodyguard on a 2-up for your general. And then on the charge they get +1 attack with their Frightful Touch. Also,
Mhm.
everything on this list except for the heroes has Frightful Touch to
Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty
further
good.
my point. Yeah.
Yep.
So what you do is you put Lady Allender between 2 units of Hex Raids, and they have to shoot at her because she's a force multiplier
Mhm.
and like bring
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
back.
definitely.
So she on a 2-up, you go back and forth between the Hex Wraith units, kill guys off, and then you use her command ability. You bring one back to each. You have your Spirit Host stuck in combat, and you bring one of them back. The Black Coach, if you hit level 1 on either one of them, you pick a unit and you return D3 models to that unit too. So this list just is around returning multi-wound models.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I really
And then
like this.
and then you just have them die off, like, because they're trying to kill Hollander, but then they can't kill Hollander because they're going to those guys, and then those guys come back.
Yep,
Oh, that's really cool.
I love this list. Yeah,
That's a really cool list.
and
You gonna
then
try it out?
yeah, that's probably gonna be my last hurrah
Nice.
with
Do
this
you have
book.
all of the hex rates for it?
I have 20 of the hex raids, and I have 9 of the spirit hosts.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna trade in the last hex raid for a spirit host.
There you go.
Yeah, because right now I have 20 of each death cavalry, and I don't want to change that.
Mhm. And it's
But yeah,
possible this list will still be there in the new book and be better.
yeah.
That's
You're
pretty
forced
cool.
to take a Trader Knight's Blade, which is +1 attack, so that's sad. But you do a command entourage where you get pendant of the pendant of the fell wind, which is a bubble of a +3 inches of movement. So you're hypermobile.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
shit, that sounds really good. Just like that's a really cool list overall.
yeah.
It's funny how like you can just like come out of nowhere. It's like, oh, you know what? People just haven't tried this idea yet. There you
Hmm.
go. Here's something powerful.
It's actually funny because this I forget her name, but like she's been playing Night Haunt since the book came out in tournaments,
Hmm.
and she's always run the double black coach in a
Oh,
world where
okay.
everybody said they were shit.
Uh huh.
And so like I don't think this is a list that anyone could pick up in 5-0, of course. Like
Yeah.
I think she 5-0'd with it because she's a master.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I think it's a good list. I think if you're playing against your buddies in a casual setting, you're going to do great with it.
Yeah.
But
But like, she knows exactly how this damn thing works.
yeah, exactly how it ticks, what to protect. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Like the sub factions, both of them in Be'lakor were actually like really good.
Oh, they seemed it. Yeah, they always
Yeah.
seemed like that was like a really good like buff for Night Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which is gonna be sad to see them go because they're just probably gonna be the one ability sub factions.
most likely, yeah. But hopefully they get like most of the stuff just like scattered throughout the book in one way or another.
I could see the Hexwraith changes just being how
All
Hexwraiths
the hex
work
rates.
forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that would be great because they're clearly pointed for that because they went up 30 points
Yeah. I
when
think the
that.
only fear
Yeah.
there is if they were written for 3.0 before Be'lakor came out or something like that, and like they
Yeah.
didn't carry over, like
Mm-hmm.
they just didn't think about that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But
I'm. That's
it could happen.
possible.
But
Yeah.
that was why that was long ago enough that I feel like they wouldn't, and they
Exactly.
would, and they would like I'm guessing it's probably just going to be on the War Scroll.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to make sense because that
I
would
think
give
that's
them
how
more
it's
of a
gonna be.
niche
Yeah.
ability too, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like how do you make not good cavalry good? Is you
Yeah,
make them a wall. You make them
yeah,
forge.
which is
Yeah.
a bit weird, but you know what? Hey, we'll take it.
I mean, I really like it if it's like supposed to be like Allander's like favorite procession.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like I like this list so much. I think hex rates are good.
very cool list.
Yeah. Uh I've also seen tournament lists that are you get rid of these. You max the spirit host, this, and then you add Nagash.
Oh, so basically, it's a totally different list.
It's
But
a totally different list, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't. Where is he? Is he under Soul Light? Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So then I got to cut one more thing. Yeah. Karlgas Cruciator. And this is a tournament list that's been doing very well called "Don't Talk to Me or My Daughter or Her Again." This is
What a
Nagash
name!
and Olander. Yeah.
What a
So
name!
you bodyguard Olander the same way, and then you just
Yeah.
launch your spirit host in,
Oh,
like
okay.
your unit of 9 into combat with whatever,
That's
and then
hilarious.
Olander's ability hits everything and brings back one model, and
Mhm.
then Nagash doubles that.
Oh man.
And then Nagash brings back one model to everything and then doubles that. So you're restoring 4 models to every
Whoa,
unit. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. In addition of like the Night Haunt lore being like absurdly good with Nagash.
Yep.
Also, he's the only like behemoth like monster in this army. Also,
Mhm.
he's the only thing that can benefit from Mystic Shield and all out defense in this army. Yeah.
It's true.
And then
Yeah.
like his damage is not great until you consider that he can reroll all hits and wounds with a
Yeah.
reaping scythe with one of his
Yep.
attacks. And like he
That's
has good
crazy.
attacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's just like the perfect thing for Night Haunt. And we'll see how that goes as the book comes, but
Yeah. I think currently it's on the on his war scroll, right? That he can join uh any death faction.
yes. Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to change with the new book. So I think he's very likely to at least stay in the army.
Yeah, I think
Whether or
he's
not
gonna
the
stay
list
in the
stays the
line.
same is a different question, I guess. But
Yeah. But I could see the spell lore changing completely.
oh yeah, yeah,
Like we lose Reaping Scythe and you're like, oh, Nagash got a lot worse in this army now.
yeah. That's fair.
And
That's
like
fair.
that's such a minor change for Night Haunt in general. But
Yeah,
just such a huge sweeping change for Nagash in Night Haunt that it
yeah.
could be
Right,
enough
right.
to ruin him. Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like oh yeah, the Nagash has the command ability to give something the 5 up ward instead of
Mhm.
the 6 up normal. Yeah, so there's this list is fun too. I like the other one a lot though. But yeah, that's it for tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, we made a
Yeah,
very good time today actually.
yeah. It was
Not
like
too
perfectly
over.
timed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week and yeah, so it's pre-orders and then release the week after.
Yeah. So we'll
So the
probably get
week,
like
yeah,
so next week we'll probably know what they do and probably go over that, and then the week
yeah,
after we'll probably be painting them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do something cool with the books too. Like I think we could make a really good show off the Anvil of Apotheosis in there and like build heroes for the show.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think that would
Yeah,
be a great one.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some stuff we could do.
Well, anyway, that's it for tonight. We're here always, almost always every Wednesday at
Yep.
7. Yeah, until Bill's on vacation or me.
Yep.
Oh, I meant to
Which happens.
drop this too, but I'm gonna be going to Nova this year, and that's in
Yeah,
August.
that's right.
Yeah, and I think the first day is on a Wednesday, so I'm going to miss that stream, of course. But
But
yeah,
then you'll be there to sign autographs for everybody, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, look, Mom! All of my fan is here. Oh, but yeah, I'm so excited for that, and I can't wait to talk about that. It's like something
Yeah,
I
that'll be
always
really
wanted
cool.
to do and was afraid of, but
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
It's,
do it. I'm gonna have
yeah,
fun.
just fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Probably a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And I may or may not join you. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, gents, have a good night. We'll talk to you next week. Goodbye for
See you
now.
guys.